All right, so I think today is probably the day of the revelation. I'm going to read through a couple Bible verses why I think that's the case. Okay, first one is Daniel 9, ESV, English Standard Version. Blah, 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 blah. 70 weeks, blah, 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 blah. And then for 62 weeks it shall be built again, squares in a moat, but in troubled time. After the 62 weeks, an anointed one shall be cut off and have nothing. That was early 2021. I remember, like in January, I don't know when this is, if it's January or March, the end of the 62 weeks, because it gives another period of 7 weeks. I don't know when that is. So this is either January or March 2021 when an anointed one is cut off. And I remember that feeling of like, I was moving along pretty good for a while. And, I still had support. I still felt like a normal person with normal relationships in this world. And then, I was fucking cut off and separated because of the relationship I have with this person I'm standing up to. I remember that happening at 62 weeks. That was either January or March 2021. And then it says, "And the people of the prince who is to come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary. Its end shall come like a flood, until the end of the war desolations are decreed." And you can remember that from 2021, where that's when it was really started getting desolate as far as the spiritual world, as far as, the substance of the world. It was getting really desolate in 2021. And then it's vague. It gives us 62 weeks, and then it's vague, and it just says, "And he will make a strong covenant with many for 1 week." And this is the most direct translation. "And for half the week he shall put an end to sacrifice and offering, and on the wing of abominations shall come who makes desolate." So, uh, that is really what we're looking at. 62 weeks in January or March 2021. And then uh, sometime later on, he makes a strong covenant with 1 week. And for half the week, he puts an end to sacrifice and offering. So in the middle of 1 week, this happens. And what I'm looking at now for that start is 2021 in November, the week, the week of Thanksgiving, and that's when I feel like there was an opportunity to do it. Because for the first time in a while, I was brought near this person, I was brought around them, and had to do with different stuff. But that would be November 24th, that Wednesday, for half the week or middle of the week. That Wednesday is the first day. So you fast forward let me get to the other verse. So that's when it starts. It starts in the middle of 1 week after the 62 weeks, or halfway through the 1 week. And then it says in Daniel 12:11, "And from the time that the regular burnt offering is taken away and the abomination of desolation is set up," and that's what we just read for Daniel 9 when that start is. That's what it's referencing. Um, "There shall be 1,290 days. Blessed is he who waits and arrives at the 1,335. So you have to fast forward 1,335 days. So that's where we are now. 1,335 days later, July 20th, 2025. That's today. So that is why I believe so strongly in this. And if you go off it's starting on that Wednesday as day one, today would be the day of the revelation. So that's really what I'm looking at today. And then hopefully more of this good will come out, more of this truth will come out. But those are the Bible verses that I'm looking at. And I know it's hard to kind of make a prediction like this. It's hard to kind of explain it because there's so many different point of views about this 1,335 days in the tribulation in Daniel. Some people think, if you look it up, some people will say, oh, it started like in the year 200 AD. That's when the beginning of and then they'll say, you know,
it's actually like 490 years. Like there's a whole bunch of different translations, but those I think are come from a place of delusion to believe that. I don't believe in any of those, obviously. I think it's a literal 62 weeks. I think it's a literal week, and then halfway through the week it starts, and then I think it's a literal 1,335 days. And the main thing is that day lands on today. It lands on today if you count that first Wednesday. If you count that first Wednesday, it lands on today. So, and again, this will be a revelation that the world witnesses. It says in the Bible again that the world will behold the beast when he's uncovered. The world will wonder after the beast, and it's so it'll be fucking crazy. But that's what I believe is happening today. Okay.